What up, dog? It's your boy Newlin Ace. Welcome to the Recovery Report. This episode, I got a special person with me today. It's my cousin Tommy Mac Davis, recovery warrior. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the people that was there for me when I was really struggling with my addiction. He helped pull me out of a dark place. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's family. So here we go. Let's go, Tom.
What's up, Ace?
I'm good, man. You
Pleasure
know,
to see you, brother.
it's good to see you. It's been a minute, man. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I called you because I wanted you to come on and share your experiences because you got a lot of knowledge as far as this thing goes, this recovery situation. I just wanted to let you go ahead and tell your story. You know what I'm saying? And let you control the narrative with this one.
My man. So, cousin, even when you was a young buck, right? I was running them streets of Southwest Philly hard,
boy.
and you know, I can go back to when it all started.
Right.
You know, just partying and taking stuff like Valiums and Christmas trees and Black Beauties and drinking Old English 800, smoking marijuana. Quote unquote, those were the days when using was fun.
Yeah.
But as time went on, man, I got introduced to other things. I got introduced to what they call the rich man's high.
Right.
It's cocaine.
Right.
And back in them days, you had to have $50 or more to even enjoy that high, right?
Man.
And I can remember, right, a good friend of mine, I ain't even gonna mention his name, asked me about, have I ever freebased?
Yeah.
Freebase, what's that? He said, I'm gonna show you. And my disease took off like a wildflower, man. And I found myself smoking cocaine.
Yeah.
For 20 years. Went from smoking cocaine to smoking crack.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you, there's a difference between the cocaine and the crack.
Right.
Nevertheless, I still ended up on a endless road of dereliction. I experienced homelessness.
Right.
I became a bum.
Right.
I fathered 3 children at that time that I became a deadbeat dad.
Right.
In 2003, see all them foxhole prayers I was making because walking through the streets of Southwest Philly asking God to take this thing from me.
One more time.
When my heart is almost jumping out my chest from smoking, right? And I can remember asking God to please help me, help me. And I can remember, right, the day that he helped me, I wasn't ready to get help.
Right.
But God said, you asked for help. And it ain't your time, it's my time.
Right.
That's how I see it now.
Right.
I didn't see it then. And he sent the Philadelphia police to rescue me for the last time. And I say rescue this time because I had, jails had became my way of life.
I remember when you went upstate that first time.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this time it was different. Something about sitting in the back of that cop car on 52nd and Woodland, right?
Right.
And if I didn't have handcuffs on, I would have wiped my brow because it was something about your spirit, my spirit, that I knew that it was over.
Right. Right.
And I went to jail, and I sat in jail for 3 months. I got caught with enough that I was about to do state time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you how God intervened when I went to court. And I was sitting in this courthouse, and they came in and told me, I ain't had no lawyer, I was a bum. I had a public defender.
Gang.
She came in there and said, Mr. Davis, for the amount of drugs you got caught with, we gonna give you they offer on a 1 to 2 upstate. I said, yeah. I said, oh, well. She said, but let me, I'll be right back.
Right.
She came back about an hour later.
Right.
She said, how about this? We're going to offer you a drug program.
Right.
I said, a drug program? She said, yeah, we're going to offer you a drug program.
Right.
you know, me, I was that addict that always disqualified myself from going to drug program
Right.
because everybody I knew that went came home
And
and got
still
high
got
with
high,
me the
yeah,
same
real
day.
shit.
I said,
Facts, you
so
know
I
what I'm
had, it wasn't for me, but it was a way out of jail.
Right.
I said,
You gonna
give me
take
that.
where I
I
signed
and I'm gonna tell you, Ace, cousin, listen, best decision I made in my life.
Right.
They shipped me to this place, and I'm gonna give this place a shout out. Self-help movement on 2600
Right.
Southampton Road
Right.
on the boulevard.
Yeah.
They sent me to this place. I didn't listen. I had put myself in a self-made prison for so many years.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was still in Philadelphia.
That's crazy.
That's deep.
That's crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you how the
That's
drugs
fucking
will
crazy.
warp your mind
Right.
into thinking that you out of state.
Somewhere else. Yeah.
But I remember the drive from State Road wasn't that far.
Yeah.
So I said, well, if I'm not in Philly, where am I?
Right. Real shit.
But then you know what brought me to realization?
What's that?
I was sitting in the yard smoking a cigarette in the courtyard, and the 84 bus rolled by. I said, the 84 bus? That go by the prison. So I knew the 84 because every time I got out of jail,
Right.
I got on that 84
No
to
fucking
get
doubt.
back home,
Right.
right? So listen, Ace, I'm gonna tell you, man, I got in this program, man, and they told me from the door, listen, this ain't jail. The
Right.
doors don't lock.
Right.
Like if you don't want to stay, you
Get
can
the
leave.
fuck out. Yeah.
But I had to remember I was on this probation called IPP.
Yeah.
This was like some intermediate punishment
Yeah,
program.
that's like
that
the
means you
sip
got
upstate.
one time to mess up, and you going to go do that time
On some
upstate.
drug court shit.
So I stuck and stayed, man.
Yeah. That's what
You
it's
know,
all
I
about.
wasn't into no recovery. I just went there because I wanted to get out of jail.
Right.
But you know what happened, Ace? They had CA,
Mm-hmm.
AA, NA.
Yeah.
They was all coming up there. Thank God. Look, listen, thank God for those folks, man,
Yeah.
that come up and share in programs where people can't get out.
Right.
H&I, hospitals and institutions.
That's
Thank
what I'm
God
into
for
right
them.
now.
Because you know what happened? And the program was a 120-day program, which means I had to be an inpatient for 4 months.
Yeah, that's
so I'm
wild.
leaving jail, and then I had to come there, right? Hey, listen. And I played around and ran around, didn't follow no rules for like the first month.
Yeah.
Until one day they had a group. H&I came in. And I swear to God, this man came in with a biker uniform on. He didn't look like me. He didn't sound like me. But he shared my story.
Right.
And my attention went from sitting in the back bench running my mouth with my
Right.
man and
Right.
to going to
Paying
the front.
attention. Yeah. Opening them ears
And
up.
from that day forth, I sat on the front bench.
Right.
Every meet. Now I'm buying in.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to say, well, if that happened for him,
Right.
then just maybe it can happen for me.
Yeah, you found it's like with me, well, my situation is similar because I didn't get into a drug program till I went upstate that first time. I went to Housedale and then they put me in TC, and so I had to, you in there and you like I'm just doing this shit to make parole, and at the end of the day though, I started listening and I started doing they give you homework and I started, that was the first time I ever really got clean. I guess my first state number, and it gave me clarity though. Like how that once you get that moment of clarity, you're like, damn, I can think, I can actually process what the fuck is going on in my life. And so like I said, I remember I just remember moving to the front of the class and moving and started really listening and taking in what they was saying, and I really I learned something. I learned a lot about myself that first number. I learned that, it's all right to forgive yourself, because for a long time I couldn't forgive myself. I messed up record deals. I did this and I did. It really bothered me. It bothered me to the point where I stayed sick. That's why when you asked me earlier, you're like, yo, you doing music? And I'm like, nah, this is it. This is what I'm doing right here. Because this is the equivalent to speaking at a meeting, you know what I'm saying? Getting your hand up and talking. Because that's the only way you're going to get out what you feeling. If you hold them feelings in, it's either going to lead to depression or it's going to lead to relapse. And like I was telling everybody right now, like, I'm not the same person I was a couple months ago. I'm different. And like, I love the way I feel. And I love the headspace that I'm in right now. Like, I never thought in a million years that I'd be doing a podcast about recovery. You know what I'm saying? And like, it feels so good to be able to talk about it now and actually be honest about it and like really, really put my heart into this shit because this is what I'm used to. I'm used to the cameras, lights, action. You know, I'm used to that anyway. But this is a different platform, and this is keeping me healthy. It's keeping me clean. I mean, people.
You flip the script.
Yeah, flip the script. You know what I'm saying? People come and they go, man. But one thing that's always going to remain the same is you are always going to be you. You have to do for you. And for so many years, I felt myself trying to please people or putting other people's careers before mine. And at the end of the day, for what? Because I'm not even cool with these dudes no more. I don't kick it with none of the niggas I kicked it with. And I'm all right with that because at the end of the day, they needed me more than I needed them. I wasn't writing nobody raps, but I was the deal. I was the big deal. It's stamped. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, I love change. I was, for a long time, Tommy, I was stuck on being the same person. I wanted to be a dickhead. I wanted to be out in these streets running around getting high when I had a fucking life that was crazy. It was so dope, man. And I turned around, and God has a way of humbling you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He got a way of humbling you because he humbled me. And like, I found myself in rehab. Last year, I was in rehab every fucking month except for April, bro. And sometimes twice. Because I couldn't stop thinking about all the things that I fucked up. And at the end of the day, somebody told me this last trip, Rachel, she was like, Ace, the only way you're going to get better is if you forgive yourself.
That's right.
Don't worry about what that person says, or don't worry about making amends with that person yet. Forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. I'm like, yo, you know what, hey? Fuck it. You did what you did. It was what it was. I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing to do is to get better. And I'm better now. You know what I'm saying, Tommy? Because you know how it is when you're in your addiction. Like, I got clothes with tags on them. I wasn't changing my clothes. I wasn't taking showers. And that's not Ace. You know me, and it's like, yo, I'm like that. I wasn't getting shaved. I wasn't shaving my head, looking like DMX mugshot and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was scary. You know what I'm saying? And
let me say this to you.
Go ahead.
You know, after that meeting at that facility I was in, I'm gonna tell you how God took me to a whole nother level, right? And you're right. You have to forgive you.
Right.
We ain't talking about what people did to us. We talking about us forgiving us.
Right.
Letting ourselves off the hook.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I hear
you. And then I heard stuff like, change I must or die I will. And I had to change. And not just one thing, I had to change everything about my life.
Right.
So, you know, going through that program really, and then I ended up living in that building for like 2 years because they had transitional living. And what happened was I ended up getting a job in there.
Yeah.
I went from the jail to a client, to a staff member, to the supervisor over 25 men.
I remember you was trying to get me in
Do
there.
you understand what I'm saying? You know, my hat go off to that place. Self-help movement is a great place. You know, it was an all-male facility. I needed that. I didn't need to be distracted by the woman, the skirt across the hall. I needed to focus on my life.
Right.
You know, I had my own room. We had our own rooms, so I was able to like really get in touch with the God of my understanding. Right. I was able to sit in that room and talk to myself and pray and wait for God's answer. Right. And God's answer didn't always come in a cloud, a big cloud. It came in just, you know, showing me how to improve my life. So, cousin, I'm right where you at with that. You know, you on the right track. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You just have to stay on that track. Right. You know, I've been clean for 20 years now. You know, when I thought I couldn't get a day clean, I didn't want to get a day clean. I was stuck. You know, and them kids I told y'all about that I was a deadbeat dad to, you know, one of them lives with me now. You know, my children are in my life. And then God blessed me with 2 more after I got clean. You know what I mean? I'm 58 years old, my oldest 41, and my baby's 16. So, you know, it's been abundance of blessing after blessing. He blessed me with a beautiful wife. You know, my wife is in recovery. You know, she getting ready to celebrate 34 years. So, you know, that's just for me. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like who better to understand me than somebody that's been through the same thing I've been through.
And that's my whole thing, Tommy. You know what I mean? Like, when I be in meetings or like when you're in treatment and shit, I always say that. I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, I love being in a room full of addicts because they the only it don't matter what nationality you are, what color you are. We all got the same fucking problem. We all got the same issues, and that's an addiction that we can't get a hold of.
Same dog bit you, bit me.
The same thing, and me personally, like I don't care who you are now. Like if you trying and I see you trying, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to use this platform to get my message across, and for others to get their message across too. That's why when I called you, I'm like, yo, who knows more about recovery than Tommy? And the fact that, I was telling them, I'm like, yo, that, that's not just like my friend, my cousin, but that's my cousin. We got the same grandmother. So like, that's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? And like, I remember you was crazy, boy. Right?
But see,
you was crazy in the 80s, boy. They called you Tommy.
I was a piece of work.
You was crazy, boy.
I wasn't to be played with. But listen,
Facts.
I wasn't to be played with until I ran into that drug, and that drug played with me. That drug will take all the fight out you, man.
Yeah.
Listen, when you think back about our grandmother and our family, right? We came up under a family full of alcoholics.
Our whole fucking side,
A bunch of alcoholics. Listen, I got high, all my brothers got high, my baby sister got high. Listen, you know what they told me? They said somebody got to break that chain.
Yeah, the generational curse.
That generational curse, thank you. So, when I got clean, and I seen that my family started looking at me differently, and like, I can't even say, cause like my mom, she always supported my recovery, still support my recovery.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Me and her don't always see eye to eye on something, but she support my recovery. And I was the type of addict that when I was getting high, I ducked her, so she didn't see me. If they told me she was down in the neighborhood, I'm high.
I mean, it's a couple
I didn't want her to see me. I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
How you gonna see your son that you born all twisted up looking like DMX?
Yeah,
and I really looked at him.
You did.
Little kid came up to me one day and said, "Excuse me, sir, are you DMX?" I said, "Yeah, get at me, dog."
Like, yo, I remember listening because I remember I might have been about 4 or 5, and that's when the Cotton Club burnt down, and y'all was on the corner fighting with bricks and shit. I'm like, this nigga is really crazy. And that's when you was on them drugs, you was crazy. Shirt unbuttoned, you down there whooping niggas' asses. And I'm like, Tommy is really crazy. But it's crazy. I remember when I was signed to Floyd, when my grandmom died, my mom's mom, when Nan died, and I came home, that's when you first got clean. So it was around 04, 05, and he was like, man, I'm clean, cousin. I remember we hugged for about 5 minutes, man, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was so happy to see you, but I was happy to see you better, you know what I'm saying? Like you was just, you was fly, you know what I'm saying? You had on, and it was a different feel. Cause I remember when I was younger, you was a fly nigga too, though, you know what I'm saying? So
crazy.
You just crazy. That's I mean, but we get it honest, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that you brought up the fact that my mom's whole side of the family was alcoholics. My father's side was too. So it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like I got it honest, and it was hard to fight at first. Like once you get that gene in you, like that shit is really hereditary. And I hate when people say shit about addicts like it's not a disease, and it's not. Man, that shit is a fucking disease. This shit is killing people every fucking day.
It's a dis-ease.
Yeah, real
that
shit.
means we are unease. I one of the hardest things it was for me to believe when I got clean is that I was an addict.
Right.
That I was going to be an addict for the rest of my life.
Facts.
And if I wanted to stay clean, then I need to make meetings.
Right.
So I make meetings. I'm a meeting maker. I don't make as many as I used to, but I still make meetings.
Right.
Not only did I get clean, work in that facility, help thousands of men get on their feet, right?
When I was at Pyramid, they was talking about you a lot. Old boy you used to call Jimmy Neutron, he used to ride the motorcycles, and I told him, like, yeah, Tommy Davis is my cousin. Like, oh yeah, that's my man.
Tommy Key.
That's
what they call
me. Yeah.
They called me Tommy Key.
I was at Pyramid Langhorne, man. They was really, they love you up there.
Pyramid Langhorne.
Yeah, they love you up there.
Listen, man, it does my heart great joy in my mother, in my children's great joy when I'm somewhere. Listen, me and my wife, we travel.
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. I didn't get on the airplane till I was 50.
What?
Listen, I was caught up. I didn't get clean till I was 38.
Yeah.
And then I met my wife, and she said, baby, you ain't, she said, we went on our first airplane to Las Vegas, right? That was a 5-hour flight, right? Listen, I'm talking about lost dreams away.
Told you.
new possibilities.
You used to call me, ask me how it is out there, man. That shit was 24, and that's when I was in the hiding stage of my addiction. I was only, that cocaine had me going, and so like I'm around Floyd Mayweather. This man doesn't even drink alcohol, so he knew. He found out because of the girl I was dating, and she told him what I was into, and that's when we fell out, and I started. It was creative differences.
Floyd, you was living in Floyd crib.
I was, man. It was,
Floyd had a crib, and he got a crib in Vegas.
Wow.
We went to go see it.
Yeah,
me and my wife.
That's the new one. I was there. He wasn't Money May when I was with him. He was Pretty Boy, so he was like 15 million strong. But I told his sister, I reached out. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is the shit that man used to talk about though. He said, I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm the best fighter. And I'm like, yo, I used to be up. I was on cocaine, so I'd be up with him. He had 24-hour fitness, working out and shit, doing all this extra shit. And I'm like, damn, this man, his fucking heart pumps Red Bull. It seemed like the nigga don't sit down. And I'm like, damn, I would be a fucking multimillionaire right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the situations where I couldn't let it go. And like now I'm okay with it because as a man now, at 43 years old, I realized like I did that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody where I'm from can say they did that. Nobody has been where I've been.
Guess what, cousin?
What up?
That wasn't God's will for
you. It wasn't.
Whatever's God's will for you is what it is. You know what you're doing right now?
What up?
God's will. You know why I continue to just make meetings and stay clean?
Yeah.
Because I need to do that for people like my cousin.
Yeah.
For my brothers.
Yeah.
For my sisters.
Yeah.
For the little cousins that's coming up behind you. And it's important that you stay clean so you can be the example for your little nephews that might get caught up out there, and you'll be able to spot it.
Yeah.
See, our older parents and our older grandparents are still here. Yeah. They kind of can pour the wool over their eye a little bit. They can't do that with me, because you'll spot the signs. So we can try to help them out, before it get to where we got.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't stop nobody from using,
but I'm going to speak on it.
But sometimes we can intervene.
Right, and it's crazy because about 2 years ago. Remember when I put that song out, No Pressure, man? I've never told nobody this. Nobody knows this except Bullets. I had just overdosed, and I was going through with my record label, so he did some shit where he put the song out because I called him, on one of my binges, all cussing him out, asking for money and doing this extra shit after he just gave me this big ass, all this jewelry and all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Got me on every streaming platform. I'm doing, my streams is heavy. I had just OD'd, Tommy. He put it out the next day. And what happened was I pulled myself up, man, and I fucking just did a self-promotion. And that song really did what it was supposed to do. It's just the fact that I wasn't focused on being a better person. I was just trying to still be a fucked up addict and still... But it don't work like that. It won't work like that at all. And I be trying to tell my nephews, I love my nephews because they so fucking sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Like they really are. Like, and I admire my little brothers for the fathers they are.
Eddie.
And they taught my nephew Booty and Shy, they ill. Like I love them because they know how to be men now because like me and my brothers raised them niggas. Like it ain't, you know what I'm saying? They not my little,
Booty got out of that street stuff.
Yeah. Work. But he got me. I was working with this boy down on Penn Terminal, making money. And like that was him. Like because his whole thing is I'm not their uncle, like I'm their brothers. You figure, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm only 14 years older than them, so we had doctor's appointments together. You know what I'm saying? My mom used to put us in that big nut ass station wagon tape, and you know what I'm saying? And like that's another thing, Tommy. It's like if my mom was here, she would be so fucking upset with a nigga. You know it too. I'm like, yo, that's one thing that got me clean this time because like I was talking to my brother, he like, what you think mom would say? Like, you wasn't like this when she died. Like you was somebody we all looked up to. You was Superman. I'm like, yo, that's the selfish thing about being an addict. You don't give a fuck about how you appear to anybody else or what you mean to other people. You know what I'm saying? And like I've learned to embrace who I am, man. I've learned to embrace the fact that I made decisions that I'm not happy with, but they shaped me. They taught me what not to do. One thing I could tell a person is what not to do.
That's right.
You listen to me, like, you know what I'm saying? You listen, if you don't, I don't give a fuck. But what I can tell you to do is the right thing, bro, because the wrong thing ain't gonna get you nowhere, bro. I didn't go upstate till I was fucking 31, man. The drugs and the alcohol did it. You know what I'm saying? Had a banging ass album out, man. And I'm like, yo, I just keep fucking up. That's why I'm done with music. I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to waste no more time out of my life. I lost a lot of time with my kids. You know what I'm saying? It's time I can't get back. I mean, London probably won't really remember, but Johnny, I was there for, you know what I'm saying, with Johnny. You know what I'm saying? Me and her mom was the, so me and Johnny, you know what I'm saying? But it's like,
All you gotta do,
I'm trying,
all
man.
you gotta do is doing what you're doing.
Yeah,
Stay clean.
yeah,
Stay sucker free.
yeah,
Them kids will come back to you.
yeah,
Believe me. Because
yeah,
when I got clean,
yeah,
after all them years, I got clean.
yeah.
And I always wondered, like Shantae, my
Yeah,
daughter
that's my
Shantae.
baby, yeah.
That's my twin.
Yeah.
And me and
Facts.
Shantae had a bond like no other.
Yeah.
Like, and one of the things that dawned on me when I first got clean,
Mm-hmm.
how will I ever be in her life?
Right.
And you know what happened?
What up?
I ended up in her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I couldn't do for her, I tried to make up with my granddaughter, her
Right.
daughter,
Yeah,
her
Deja,
daughter,
yeah.
Deja.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what? One of the things we gotta learn when we come into this thing called recovery is that image time stuff gotta stay at the door.
Right.
Be who Tanya
Yeah.
warned you to
man.
be.
Facts.
Be who Ace. All you gotta do is just get off that. Live your life.
Right.
You in your 40s now.
Yeah.
You ain't got many years
That's
in
what I'm
front of you no
saying,
more.
yeah.
You got more in back of you now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like me. Like I try to listen. I'm all right living a square life.
Me
man.
too. Me
Listen.
too. You hear me? Me too, man. I don't fucking care like about everything I used to care about. I stopped caring about, and
Yeah.
life got great.
Yeah.
Like life is the shit right now. Like I'm really enjoying this shit right now.
You don't have to go to the bar to have fun.
Nah.
You go to the bowling alley and play bowling.
I was
Shoot
thinking about
bowl
it.
with your girl. Yeah. Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
You can book a show. You know what I did for the first time in my life,
up?
clean? I went ice skating.
Oh,
I
listen.
never think I could ice skate.
Let me tell you, ain't that the shit though? A couple years ago, I took my ex ice skating, and I'm like, yo, this shit is really it.
Yo!
Real shit.
Couldn't believe- Listen, the kids was like, Dad, we went to this hotel. My wife booked us this place down Ocean City, Maryland, right?
Facts.
The hotel had a skating ring in it.
yeah.
And we would go out every day. We was there, and my kids could say, Dad, and we gonna go ice skating. Said, y'all can go ice skating.
Right.
They was like, nah, Dad,
Yeah.
you gotta go with us. I said, you know what? I
Yeah.
put them ice skates on. You know what I did, Ace? I put my mind
God,
in the
fuck
Elmwood
yeah.
skating
Yeah,
rink
yeah,
and thought I
yeah.
was at the skating rink. I tied them joints up,
Yeah.
and I went around that joint. I ain't fall one, did I, baby?
Yeah, real shit. I was holding the wall, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I know how to ice skate, though. I know how to ice skate. But the crazy thing is, I was with somebody who didn't, so she kept pulling me down. I kept fucking falling. But it's like you said, though, shit like that, square shit like that, like, ain't nothing wrong with that shit.
Ain't nothing wrong with it,
Ain't
man.
nothing wrong with that shit,
Listen, motherfuckers get mad. When I first got clean,
Yeah.
some of them old jokers I used to run around with, they used to get mad like, yo, you going home? Yeah.
Yeah, like, what
Listen,
you talking about?
if you living right and you doing the right thing for the right reasons,
Right.
your ass ain't got no business outside after 11
Facts.
o'clock.
Fuck is you doing?
Unless you coming from a function with your wife,
Yeah.
or you coming from work,
Yeah.
or you coming from dinner. Like, your ass ain't got no business outside
Yeah,
after
what you
11
doing?
o'clock.
Yeah.
We know what going on outside after 11
Facts.
o'clock.
Facts.
All you got to just look out that window. You'll see what's going on.
Listen, when I booked this job, I thought it was downtown and shit. Motherfucker was like, yo, you know that shit is up in the middle of the
When we
fucking
was coming up in,
this shit
I was
dope,
like,
but this
man.
shit is right in the middle of North Philly. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it though.
I said, hold up,
I'm here
man.
for it.
My cousin called me up here.
Real
But
shit.
this the heart of the job. I said, I said, I hope, what's going on?
My nigga, I'm from Delco.
And
You
then
hear
I
me? I'm
pulled
from the
over,
county.
and it looked like a whole abandoned building right
Yeah.
here. I said, hold up.
Get in here, this shit
I
super
said,
lit though.
I said, listen,
Yeah.
but you know, where we come from is what makes us who we are today.
Absolutely.
You know, our awareness of what's around us.
Right.
We become equipped with sharp, keen awareness
Right.
because we've been in situations where it didn't look good.
Yeah.
We put ourselves in situations where we didn't think we was gonna come out alive.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been shot 2 different times,
Yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I got shot in the butt one time, got shot in the leg one time. I've been stabbed. Listen, it's
Yeah.
only by God's grace and His mercy that I'm here sitting here with you,
Yeah,
man. Because by my recollection, I should be dead.
I know, man.
I lived
know.
a hell of a life, man.
Yeah, me
and now
too, man.
I've spent my life giving back, man.
Yeah.
What was so freely given to me.
Right.
Like I got men that still send me text messages and inboxes through Facebook that I don't even remember who they are.
Right.
But you know what they say? Tommy Keys, thank you, man. I'm celebrating 5 years.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you for your help. I don't even know who he is.
It's just
You know
the
what I'm saying back?
gratitude. Yeah.
Listen.
It's the gratitude.
Listen, Ace, because of who you are,
Right.
you could be that vision of hope.
Facts.
Like you've been in limelight. You done been over there in Vegas and Cali.
Yeah.
You done been in Florida. You done been in Corrupt.
Yeah.
You done been some places some of these young boys ain't gonna never get to say.
You already.
But you got a story to tell. And you need to tell that story. Stop harboring. Whatever bothers you, you need to bring it out.
Right.
See, that's what keeps us sick, secrets. When we don't want to talk about what went on.
Right.
I talk about everything.
All right.
And that's sometimes that could be my downfall too. Because I don't fester on things,
Right.
man. Because I know what relapse mode look like.
Right.
You know, although I never relapsed, thank God.
Right.
But I've been in the modes where I was almost ready to relapse.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But what I do, I pick up the phone and I call somebody.
Uh-huh.
I get my ass in the meeting and get my hand up in the air and let people know where I'm at, man.
Right.
Because listen, my life, listen, the coast ain't clear, cousin.
Not at all. I love you, cuz. Real
Coast
shit.
ain't clear. Because we get a little couple months or a couple years under our belt, 20 years,
Yeah.
the coast still ain't clear, man.
ain't though, like-
Listen, you ever see somebody smoke that K2?
Yeah, I was addicted to that shit heavy because I was on parole, so I was smoking this shit.
Cousin,
Yeah.
I was working in
Niggas to get naked and shit.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you how deep recovery is to me.
Mm-hmm.
They said something wrong with the bull. So I run over there, I'm the supervisor. I see the bull throw up on the floor and laid in it and start swimming.
Yeah.
I mean, getting it.
That's
I'm
what
like,
they do.
damn.
Yeah, that shit.
Everybody was laughing, right? I even laughed for a fleeting moment until it dawned on me.
Yeah, that's
like,
shit.
Tommy, that ain't normal for a human being.
That's not for human consumption.
And it says it on the pack.
It say it on the pack.
Because I got the pack. Not for human consumption.
Yeah.
Listen, fentanyl. Fentanyl, ain't no more dope out here.
Yeah.
It's fentanyl.
Yeah.
Narcan don't work on
Fucking
fentanyl.
Nah, some niggas is
Know how I
still checking.
know?
That's why they still checking.
Because I watched dudes OD and had to put 10 joints up their nose just to, didn't let them go.
Yeah.
Didn't let them go.
Yeah.
See them blue.
Yeah.
So you know, recovery. You know, not only that, I'm gonna break it down with this. Not only did I see the need for recovery,
Right.
but when I went back to Darby
Yeah.
and they built that new rec center,
Right.
I went in there with a couple other addicts and asked them about starting an AA meeting.
Yeah. That's the one you brought me to?
Yeah. And they was more than happy to have us.
Yeah.
And that meeting was hard to start because the two guys that I started with went back out and used.
Yeah, man.
So
it
I
be
was
like
left
that.
there to open up this meeting, set it up. That was a lot of work, man.
was a lot of chairs
It got
in
to
that
the
motherfucker.
point, right? A lot of
chairs in that
But listen,
motherfucker.
it got to the point, Ace, where I was ready to close the doors, man. Until another addict showed up that same night. I'm telling you how God worked. He said, Tom, what are you doing? I said, listen, man, it's not nobody really showing up.
Yeah.
This meeting is going forward.
Yeah.
He said, hold up. He went in his glove box and pulled out the meeting book. He said, see this? He said, you did that work to get that in there.
Yeah.
He said, but what if that addict getting out of jail,
Yeah.
getting out of rehab,
Yeah.
they see that meeting in there and they come to that meeting and that door is locked.
Yeah.
He said that addict could die.
Yeah. That night.
I said,
That's all
damn.
it is.
That was deep.
Yeah.
So I kept the doors open. You know what? That meeting just celebrated its 9th year anniversary.
Yeah, that's dope.
And it grew. You
That's
know,
God,
because
man.
I
That's God right
believe
there.
in community. I believe in recovery. I believe in helping others.
Right.
And Ace, you got that in you.
Right.
I can see that happening for you, man.
Yes, I feel it. Like
This
it's
podcast is just a start.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I'm like booking speaking engagements and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
I just really, I'm glad. I want to thank you for coming on tonight, man. I appreciate you taking your time out to come out here
Absolutely,
and speak.
cousin.
And
Anytime.
at the end of the day, you know, I love you, man.
Love you back,
I
man.
appreciate you for coming out.
Love you too, man.
All right, y'all. That's the end of this episode. Thank y'all for tuning into the Recovery Report. I want to thank my cousin Tommy Mac Davis for coming through. I'm your boy Newlin Ace, and we out there.
Peace.
All right.